The fear of aging and the desire to remain young forever feeds a Goliath of an anti-aging industry worldwide. The global anti-aging products market is estimated to reach $291.9 billion by 2015. On this episode of The Lunch Counter, we explore what influences our community's perception of growing old and aging.
Gray hair.
Gray hair?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Okay. Don't have to work anymore.
Losing the ability to do things you once normally could.
I think in the last 20 years that being 60 isn't like it was when I was growing up, and I think people look at, like, I believe 50 is the new 40 for sure. That's an easy statement to make. People work longer, and I do think it's changing that, and I think it's okay. It's okay to try to stay looking young if that's your choice, and it's okay to go gray and be accepting, and it's what you choose and what makes you feel good. And I don't find, or I haven't noticed yet, that people look at you any differently, whatever your choices are, if you're confident in what you're doing.
Yeah, I agree that if you like the way you look and if you like yourself, I think that's the biggest, because if you like who you are, then you can look however you want and you're going to like yourself and other people will too. And I love your salt and pepper hair.
I agree to a certain extent. I mean, I personally would never begrudge anybody that wants to do something that would make them feel better about themselves. But on the flip side of that, I feel really bad that we have such a negative view towards aging. That it's not, you know, for the most part, something that we celebrate. We tend to think of aging as decline, where we reach that certain point, and then, you know, we have all these expressions, oh, you're over the hill, or, you know, it's all downhill from here, or we see graying not so much as wisdom anymore, but as decline, right? Wrinkled skin means that our elasticity is failing us and things like that. And it does hold a very negative connotation towards growing older. And unfortunately, I also think that, sure, 60 is the new 50, 50 is the new 40, but we just push that notion of decline and uselessness a little bit back by virtue of the fact that we live longer and healthier than before. So now 80 is 60 and 60 is 50 and all, but behind all of that facade is a negative look at growing older. And I feel it myself. I'm 45 years old and I look in the mirror at my rapidly graying goatee and I think to myself, is it time to start coloring this?
Love it.
Do I want to be this age yet? I still feel like I'm 30 years old.
Right.
You know, I feel like I'm 20 years old. So do I want people to look at me and start thinking, hey, there's that late middle-aged gentleman that still feels like a kid? So I get that. I wish that we didn't carry around such negative ideas about growing older.
If you do that much stuff to try to fit in, that you might need to look at other things. And that's the reason I stopped dyeing my hair, is literally I didn't want my daughter. Where do you start and stop? And if I say it's okay for me to do it to fit in, then what is she going to do to fit in as a, you know, when she was going into grade 6 or 7, when everything changes? I just wanted her to, you just have to be true to yourself. Whatever makes you feel good usually is the right thing, usually.
Yeah. This to me kind of sums up the whole thing. We think so negatively about growing old that at some point in time somebody sat down and went, I think if I inject botulism into my face, I will look better. The simple fact that it even got to a point where somebody decided to do that has to make you go, why do we think it's such a horrible thing to grow old?